I'll start. Namaste. Welcome to the kindly bear with any disturbances that may arise. Please have a notebook and a pen in front of you. Do type in your queries in the chat window. Definitely any questions that you have will be addressed by the end of the class, if not immediately. I hope I'm audible and people are able to hear me. If there's any issues, please let me know. Thank you. So we'll start the class with Om 3 times. नीलं धृतदिव्यशीलं ब्रह्माद्वयं व्यापकमव्ययं च राजाधिराजं विशदं विराजं सीताभिरामं प्रणमामि रामं मनोजवं मारुततुल्यवेगं जितेन्द्रियं बुद्धिमतां वरिष्ठं वातात्मजं वानरयूथमुख्यं श्रीरामदूतं शरणं प्रपद्ये श्रीगुरुचरणसरोजरज निजमनमुकुरसुधारि वरणौ रघुवरविमलयश जोदायकफलचारि बुद्धिहीनतनुजानिके सुमिरौ पवनकुमार बलबुद्धिविद्या देहु मोहि हरहु कलेशविकार जय हनुमान ज्ञान गुण सागर जय कपीश तिहु लोक उजागर रामदूत अतुलित बलधामा अंजनी पुत्र पवन सुत नामा महावीर विक्रम बजरंगी कुमति निवार सुमति के संगी कंचन वरण विराज सुवेशा कानन कुंडल कुंचित केशा हाथ वज्र और ध्वजा विराजे कांधे मूंज जनेऊ साजे शंकर सुवन केसरी नंदन तेज प्रताप महाजगवंदन विद्यावान गुणी अति चातुर राम काज करिबे को आतुर. Till here we have seen, I think, na? Did I teach? No, na? प्रभु चरित्र सुनिवे को रसिया 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 राम लखन सीता बन बसिया राम लखन सीता बन बसिया प्रभु चरित्र सुनिवे को रसिया प्रभु चरित्र सुनिवे को रसिया राम लखन सीता मन बसिया राम लखन सीता मन बसिया. Let's do this together. I don't think that 1 minute. I don't think the slide is showing correctly. Let me update it for people and then I'll start the. What is your doubt? Ask me. Sunive ko rasiya. प्रभु चरित्र सुनिवे को रसिया राम लखन सीता मन बसिया. Once more. प्रभु चरित्र सुनिवेको रसिया राम लखन सीता मन बसिया. Once more for the sake of those who came late. Come. प्रभु चरित्र सुनिवेको रसिया राम लखन सीता मन बसिया. Very good. Now we'll learn this meaning and then go to the next part of the text. So first is Prabhu Charitra Suniveko Rasiya. Prabhu's Charitra. Who is Hanuman's Prabhu? Rama. Prabhu Charitra means Rama's Charitra. Rama's fame. Not just Rama's story. After all, Valmiki, just like Valmiki knows Rama's story, Hanuman knows Rama's story very well. But have you noticed, if you read Ramayana, even if you have read it hundreds of times since your childhood, if you read it again also, you will not feel bored. You will feel ever happy, ever delighted to experience the bliss of Rama's story. For us, if it is like this, imagine for Rama's greatest bhakta how much the joy will be. So Sunive, for listening to Rama's Charitra, Rasiya, he totally enjoys himself. In fact, I am sure many of you know this story. When at the end of the Rama avatar, Rama was willing to grant moksha to everybody and to take them all to Vaikuntha with him. Right? So all the Vanaras who served him faithfully, you know, they were all the Amsas of all the Devas, right? I had told this in the first class. So they all went back to being Devas. Hanuman was who? Shiva, Rudra himself. Still, what did Hanuman say? I don't want to go back. Shiva is there, let him be. Let me be as Hanuman. Why? I want to enjoy the glory of your name. Wherever there is your name being heard on earth, I will be there in that place. So his rationale for staying behind in the earth was because he wanted to hear Rama's name. So the meaning of this phrase is Prabhu Charitra Suniveko Rasiya, one who enjoys hearing the name of the Lord. There is a beautiful story for this. I will tell the story. But first, you know what is the reaction of hearing Rama's name on Hanuman? How he would react whenever he heard Rama's name? He was happy, but what would happen to him, you know? There are two descriptions of how Hanuman reacts to the story, to the name of Rama. Just the name is enough. If he hears Rama's name only, this would be the reaction. First is given by Tulsidas in his text called 𝗵𝗵𝗶𝗀. Okay, I'll read out. We will chant it together. Jayati Ramayana, Jayati Ramayana, Shravana Sanjata, Shravana Sanjata, Jayati Ramayana, Shravana Sanjata, Jayati Ramayana, Shravana Sanjata, Hanuman Chalisa, Hanuman Chalisa, Sajala Shitilavani, Sajala Shitilavani, Hanuman Chalisa, Hanuman Chalisa, Sajala Shitilavani, Sajala Shitilavani. Jayati Ramayana Shravana Sanjata. When it so happens that when Hanuman hears the victorious Ramayana, what happens to him? Romancha. His hair stands on end. Goosebumps. When you hear something really exciting, your hair stands up on end, no? Okay, his hair stands up on end. And then what happens to his Lochana eyes? Sajala. Immediately tears come to his eyes. Vani. What happens to his voice? Shithila. It starts to tremor and break. He is so overcome with emotion when he hears Rama's name. Another very famous shloka is there on Hanuman's reaction to Rama's name. This was composed by the sage Ramananda. He was the guru of Kabir Das. Not okay. Yeah, he is met Mirabai. Yeah, okay. Kabir's guru Ramanand composed this shloka. Anyone knows the shloka? If you hear the shloka, you will all say, I know it, I'm sure. Guess? Very famous shloka. Does anyone in the live audience know the name of the shloka? Which was composed by sage Ramanand on Hanuman, on his reaction to Rama's name. Okay, now it will be like, yes, I know it. Shall I tell? It starts with Yatra. Very nice. Yatra. All of you repeat after me. It's a good shloka to learn. Yatra yatra raghunatha kirtanam. Yatra yatra raghunatha kirtanam. Tatra tatra kritamastakāñjalim. तत्र तत्र कृतमस्तकाञ्जलिं यत्र यत्र रघुनाथकीर्तनं यत्र यत्र रघुनाथकीर्तनं तत्र तत्र कृतमस्तकाञ्जलिं तत्र तत्र कृतमस्तकाञ्जलिं बाष्पवारि परिपूर्णलोचनं बाष्पवारि परिपूर्णलोचनं बाष्पवारि परिपूर्णलोचनं बाष्पवारि परिपूर्णलोचनं मारुतिं नमत राक्षसान्तकं मारुतिं नमत राक्षसान्तकम् बाष्पवारि परिपूर्णलोचनं बाष्पवारि परिपूर्णलोचनं मारुतिं नमत राक्षसान्तकं मारुतिं नमत राक्षसान्तकम्. I'll send the text of the shloka in our group and also in the online group. Basically, what it means, very beautiful meaning. Yatra yatra Raghunatha Kirtanam, wherever there is Kirtana, there is singing. Not just singing in terms of somebody singing like how we sang, okay? Even just saying Ram Ram is enough. Whenever there is a sound of Rama being heard, there, Kritamastakāñjalim, with his hands, with his head bent and hands in Anjali Mudra. Anjali means Namaste Mudra, but the significance of this mudra is it is touching the forehead. He is doing like this. Who is doing like this? Hanuman. And then Bashpavari, Paripurna Lochanam. His eyes, are full of tears. Tears are flowing from his eyes as he hears Rama's name. These are not sad tears. I am made to study biology, so I will cry. Not that kind of tears. This is the kind of tears. Rama's name is being heard. I am so happy. Tears flow. Okay. Marutim namata rakshasantakam. That Maruti I bow to, who is the destroyer of great Rakshasas. So here, are we just referring to Maruti as a destroyer of big Rakshasas, Prahasta's sons and all that we saw in the previous classes also? Not just those Rakshasas, but what Rakshasas? Internal enemies. So all the internal enemies that stop us from listening to Rama's name and enjoying the glories of Rama's name, who destroys? Hanuman destroys. That is why we are worshipping, and when we are imagining Hanuman with his hands like this, on his mastaka, hands like this, and tears flowing from our eyes, automatically something will melt within us also. And we will also think, let me also tell Rama's name 10 times. Okay, so or let me write Rama's name. I hope all of you are writing Rama's name at home. Yes, Dikita Nama Japam. Daily take a notebook, rough notebook children, write 10 times Rama's name. And when you start any work, write on top, Om Namo Narayanaya. Or write Jai Ram, Sri Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Write anything like that. One God's name, write on every page as you begin your notes. Okay, then what will happen? What will happen if you write God's name on your notebook and write? Don't write in board exam, but in board exam you are not allowed to write any God's name. Okay, but otherwise when you are writing in your house, what will happen if you write God's name, if you write Rama's name? We get positive energy. Automatic concentration will come there. Okay, till then you will be thinking, why should I study this? When you write Rama's name, then whose notes are you studying? You are studying Rama's notes. Is it your notes anymore? Is it your hated subject anymore? No, it is Rama's subject. So with great joy we will do Rama's work. So even for us, when we are writing something, we all tend to write something or the other. Write a letter, write an email. When you wish somebody, happily say Ram Ram. In fact, one of my Guru Mamis will always wish Ram Ram Varsha, she'll say. I'm so happy whenever I hear her say that. Because what does she's immediately bowing to the Ram within me, and she is channeling the Ram within her. So Ram Ram is a great way to wish instead of saying hi bye. Correct? Yeah. So now, having seen the glories of Rama's name, there is a nice story also associated with it. When we learn the second line meaning, after that we'll go to the story. First line ka meaning, one who revels or one who enjoys hearing the glories of Rama. Prabhu Charitra Sunibeko Rasya. Next is Rama Lakhana Sita Mana Basya. One who resides in the heart of Rama, Lakshmana and Sita. Two meanings are there. One who resides in the heart of Rama, Lakshmana and Sita because favorite devotee. Where will the favorite devotee be? Always in the heart of the Lord. That way. Second meaning is one in whose heart Rama, Lakshmana and Sita reside. That story we have seen. The pearl necklace story. One who resides in the heart of Rama, Lakshmana and Sita. Shortcut you can write R, L, S. Okay, and then second meaning, one in whose heart Rama, Lakshmana and Sita reside. Okay, so should we go into the story now? Have we got the meanings done? Okay. Meaning is very simple, no? This story is not found in the Valmiki Ramayana. This story is found in the Ramacharita-manas. Ramacharita-manas was written by whom? Tulsidas only, who is the author of Hanuman Chalisa. Okay. So, and one more version of Ramayana called the Adhyatma Ramayana. Anybody has heard of it? That version of Ramayana has a few incidents different from Valmiki Ramayana. I'll tell you the story meanwhile. Okay, here it's a story, come listen. So what happens in the story we will see on how we enjoyed hearing Rama's name and Rama's story. Okay, you all know, we'll see that story very soon about how when Lakshmana was injured in battle, in the war between Rama and Ravana, he went to get Sanjeevani mountain from Sanjeevani herb, not mountain. Sanjeevani is a medicine. Okay, he needed to get that medicine from which mountain? The 𝗟𝗵𝗹𝗀 mountains. We've seen about the mountains in 𝗖𝗵𝗹𝗶𝗀𝗡 class, if you remember. Okay, the mountain mentioned there, 𝗖𝗵𝗹𝗀𝗺𝗃𝗃, which comes, no, refers to the 𝗟𝗵𝗹𝗀 mountains. Okay, for those of you who don't know 𝗖𝗵𝗹𝗶𝗀𝗡, you can go back and see in the playlist on Vidya Parampara. The explanation of that 𝗖𝗵𝗹𝗃𝗃 is given there in the video. Okay, so 𝗟𝗵𝗹𝗀 mountains is a celestial mountain where many devas and gods like to reside. In that mountain, the Sanjeevani herb was supposed to be located. He was supposed to go and get the herb. On the way, Ravana got to know through his spies that Hanuman was on the way to get the Sanjeevani herb. So what did he do? He called the son of Maricha. You all remember who is Maricha? The one who took the form of the golden deer in order to lure Sita. He didn't want to do it. He was a tapasvi. Remember all that I told you, I think in passing I had mentioned. Maricha had a son. Anybody knows his name?
Maricha.
Kalanemi. The name is familiar. Don't confuse with Kalanemi Dihavira from Vishnu Sahasranama. That is a different Kalanemi. This is a different Kalanemi. That's why I made it a point to mention. Name of the Asura is Kalanemi. Now Kalanemi, anybody knows the story? No, Kalanemi was called by Ravana and he was told, you have to stop Hanuman at all costs. If you prevent him from getting the Sanjeevani herb, we will win the battle. Because if Lakshmana is dead, Rama will lay down the bow, he will die. If Rama dies, Sita will definitely become mine. He still had the desire to have Sita for his, okay? Such a bad person he was. So when he told Kalanemi this, Kalanemi said, what will you give me in return? Chalu fellow, no? Nicely asked, what will you give me in return? What do you think Ravana promised? You can take half my kingdom. Look at the level of desperation that Ravana had to defeat Rama in battle. He promised half the kingdom to Kalanemi. So Kalanemi, he was a great magician. Even Maricha had the power of magic, which is why he could transform himself into the golden deer. Being his son, Kalanemi also had similar magic powers. So what did he do? He apparated out of thin air a whole ashram. Magical, illusory ashram in the foothills of the 𝗟𝗵𝗹𝗀𝗀 mountains. Okay, and there he apparated, that is created, lot of shishyas. Nobody was real, fake, just like in Harry Potter. Many fake shishyas in a fake ashrama. And who was the head of the fake ashrama? This Kalanemi, who assumed the form of a rishi. Okay, and then there was in the foothills of the 𝗟𝗵𝗹𝗀𝗀 mountain, there was a river in which there was a terrible crocodile. This crocodile was an Apsara who was cursed in the previous birth that unless she gets killed by Hanuman, she will not go back to being a Apsara again. So this Apsara was there in the lake. He thought, I will make Hanuman bathe in the lake. That was the agenda of Kalanemi. Okay, so how was Kalanemi looking? Like one pious rishi. As Hanuman was flying across, you know how he is, always aerial transport only to get to the Sanjeev, because he was in a hurry. Okay, he didn't take a bus or a plane. No plane, Hanuman is the plane. You and I will climb onto a plane and go. Here, Hanuman, take off, direct flight, landing at 𝗟𝗵𝗹𝗀𝗃. Before he was about to land at 𝗟𝗵𝗹𝗃, he heard the sounds Rama, 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 Rama coming from where? Kalanemi's ashrama. And the glories of Raghunatha being sung. Hanuman was so attracted, even by that fake bad fellow, when Ramayana was being sung, Rama's glories were being sung, Hanuman could not move ahead. It was like he was drawn by a magical web to the place where Kalanemi was telling the story of Rama. So what did he do? He landed there instead of going to 𝗟𝗵𝗹𝗃. Even though he knew he was running late to get the Sanjeevani, he landed there thinking maybe this is a Rama Bhakta like 𝗵𝗔. Remember 𝗵𝗔, how he met him in Lanka and therefore he proved to be a friend. He thought maybe this is also a friend. Maybe he will guide me to the Sanjeevani mountain. Whereas what did this guy do? He made him sit. He said, come, I have to feed you. I have to give you fruits. You have to rest after the journey. He tried telling him dialogues like he told Mainaka that I am on Rama's work. I have to go in a hurry and all. He said, I will guide you. I know the Sanjeevani herb. I will guide you. Meanwhile, listen to the glories of Rama's name. And every time he kept trapping Hanuman with more and more stories and more talk of Lord Rama. Hanuman could not move. Then he said, okay, please go have a bath at least and come. Then I will feed you some fruits. We will discuss more of Rama's name. Then we both will go and get the Sanjeevani mountain. Okay, Sanjeevani herb. Okay. So he said like this and Hanuman fell for it. So he went to the lake to have his bath. Whom did he meet? The dreaded crocodile. The crocodile came and tried to grip the leg of Hanuman. Remember the story of how Gajendra's leg got gripped by a crocodile? Similarly, Hanuman's leg got gripped by this Apsara turned crocodile. Okay, but Hanuman was no Gajendra. 1 second he threw the crocodile off, split its jaw apart, killed the crocodile, and the Apsara immediately came in the place of the crocodile and bowed to Hanuman and said, thank you so much. Because of you, instead of being trapped in a crocodile body, I can go back to being an Apsara. And remember, the guy who lured you into bathing in the river, he is no devotee of Rama. He is a Asura in disguise. And Hanuman got to know of it. He came back. There was a big round of battle with Kalanemi. He killed Kalanemi and then he proceeded to get the Sanjeevani herb. Okay, so this story tells us how Hanuman, when it comes to Rama's name and Rama's story, will never even leave the place. For him, the magnet to attract Hanuman is Rama's name. Okay, that is why even now, I've told this before also in class, even now, if you chant the Ramayana, and especially in 𝗵𝗹𝗶𝗀, you don't have to ask, monkeys are always there. So the moment you chant Ramayana, you'll see a monkey cross by your house, and you think, yes, Hanuman is listening to my Ramayana.
𝗵𝗹𝗶𝗀 में बहुत सारे राम भक्त हैं, तभी हनुमान.
इसलिए हनुमान अभी भी है इधर, correct. और अच्छा temple भी है. Those of you who have not gone to the Rama temple in 𝗵𝗹𝗶𝗀, there is a beautiful temple in Sarvasukhi colony called the Ramalaya. I'm sure you've been there, no? जो भी 𝗵𝗹𝗶𝗀 में है जाइए, जो भी 𝗵𝗹𝗶𝗀 में नहीं है भी जा सकती. इधर इतना दूर आ रहे हैं तो definitely go to the Rama temple. Beautiful temple, very nice, well maintained temple also. We had shot Mahishasura Stotram there. Otherwise also I've been to the temple many times. It's a nice temple. Okay, so now that we have seen the meaning of this particular stanza with the story, we will go to the next one. सूक्ष्म रूप धरि सियाहि दिखावा, सूक्ष्म रूप विकट रूप धरि लंक जरावा, सूक्ष्म रूप धरि सियाहि दिखावा, विकट रूप धरि लंक जरावा, विकट रूप धरि लंक जरावा. Easy, no? We chant together. सूक्ष्म रूप धरि सियाहि दिखावा, विकट रूप धरि लंक जरावा. Once more. सूक्ष्म रूप धरि सियाहि दिखावा, विकट रूप धरि लंक जरावा. Nice stories are there for this also. So first is Sukshma Rupa Dhari Siyahi Dikhava. Sukshma Rupa, small subtle form. Dhari, having taken. Siyahi Dikhava, he showed to Sita Mata. Okay, so he took a very small diminutive form to show to Sita Mata. He took a very small diminutive form to show to Sita Mata. What is the meaning? Why did he take a small form? Yeah? No, having entered into Lanka, he was roaming around in a reasonable size. He didn't want to be seen by others, and second, he did not want to scare Sita Mata. Because just before he met Sita, I'll tell you what happened in Valmiki Ramayana. comes in Sundarakanda, it comes in Valmiki Ramayana Sundarakanda, it comes in Ramcharitamanas also. Just before he met Sita Mata, you know who met Sita Mata? Ravana. So Ravana had done a bang-up job of terrifying her. She was terrified, scared, in a position where she was thinking, if within a month Rama doesn't save me, I have to give up my life because I cannot marry this person at all. Okay, and he threatens to kill me anyway. So before he kills me, I should take my own life. This was her mental state. In that mental state, if anybody comes in the normal size of a normal human being, what would Sita Mata have thought? This is Ravana taking a magical form to come and fool me, just like he took the form of a mendicant to abduct me. Same thought would be there, no? So what did she do? She was very terrified, she was crying. At that time, Hanuman wanted to reassure her. So in the 𝗟𝗃𝗺𝗃 it says, in the Adhyatma Ramayana it says, he came in the form of 𝗟𝗵𝗂𝗺𝗪𝗪, in the size of a sparrow. That small he was. Sundarakanda it says he was in the size of a normal small monkey that we see, Maratpalli monkeys, similar size. Okay, so for us there is no need to visualize monkeys. Monkeys are there before our eyes every day anyway. So that size monkey, that form he took. So he took a very small form in order to see Sita Mata. Okay, and then there is a nice commentary in 𝗟𝗃𝗺𝗃. 𝗟𝗃𝗺𝗃, to tell you more, because today I am talking so much about 𝗟𝗃𝗺𝗃. 𝗟𝗃𝗺𝗃 is a text of Tulsidasa which gives many instances from the Ramayana. It gives more details which he could not earlier cover in Ramcharitamanas. So it's like after writing a big text, you write an addendum. Epilogue we call it, no? What happens after the story is an epilogue. You also write an addendum saying that, hey, more things happened which I didn't have chance to write in the main text, so I'm adding it here. So those kind of things are covered in 𝗟𝗃𝗺𝗃. In that it says, when Hanuman took such a small size, he was carrying something with him. What was he carrying? Ring with him. If he is size of a sparrow, in Ramcharitamanas also he is very small. What will be the size of the ring? Will a sparrow be able to carry a ring? No. Can a sparrow carry a ring? Sparrow is practically rings a little bigger. How will that small Hanuman be able to carry the normal size ring? Okay, this question Tulsidas asks in 𝗟𝗃𝗺𝗃. Then he gives the answer also. He says that ring is not an ordinary ring. Whose ring is it? There is an instance in the Ramcharitamanas itself, main Ramcharitamanas, not in 𝗟𝗃𝗺𝗃, where the ring talks to Mata Sita. After Hanuman gives the ring to Sita Mata, ring has to talk to her. Okay, ring talks to her. This doesn't come in Valmiki Ramayana, this comes in Ramcharitamanas. नींद देवराहि 𝗵𝗂𝗺𝗃𝗺. Your Devar, who's the Devar of Sita? Lakshmana. Devar means brother-in-law. Your brother-in-law, Lakshmana, is not experiencing no sleep, not experiencing bhook, no hunger. Why? 𝗵𝗂𝗺𝗃, he lost you. So he is repenting for it, because he is the guy who left her last and went no. So he is repenting for it. So the ring talks about Rama, then ring talks about Lakshmana mainly. And it actually spends more time talking about Lakshmana. So taking that instance, Tulsidas says, if the ring can speak, the ring has consciousness. That ring which can speak and has consciousness can also become big and small as per its will. It's after all Rama's ring. So if Hanuman from a normal monkey size or even Hanuman size becomes a small sparrow sized person, the ring also will become fit for a sparrow to hold. So that is how the ring also became small. So when we understand 𝗟𝗃𝗺𝗃𝗺𝗃𝗃, we should understand it not just as Hanuman becoming small. We should understand it as any object, any bhakta, any person associated with Lord Rama has the magical ability to become big or small as per their wish. By whose grace? Rama's grace alone. So it shows the greatness of the Lord. Okay. So 𝗟𝗃𝗺𝗃𝗺 𝗟𝗃𝗺𝗃, one who became very small when he showed his form to Sita. Next, 𝗵𝗂𝗃𝗺𝗃 𝗨𝗨𝗪. 𝗵𝗂𝗃𝗺𝗃 𝗨𝗨𝗪. Jarava, burnt. Lanka, he burnt Lanka with a 𝗵𝗂𝗃, terrifying form. So one who took a terrifying form to burn Lanka. 𝗵𝗂𝗃𝗺𝗃 𝗨𝗪, one who took a terrifying form to burn Lanka. One who took a terrifying form to burn Lanka. Does anyone know, here also there is a difference between 𝗟𝗃𝗺 and 𝗏𝗪𝗃 Ramayana. In 𝗏𝗪𝗃 Ramayana, I'll tell you what happened. When he burnt Lanka, he was at that time sitting on the throne that he had made for himself with his tail, trying to equal Ravana in height, and he was sitting and looking at him and talking to him, right? And then what did Vibhishana want Ravana to do? Vibhishana said, please don't kill him, because Ravana wanted to kill him. Then what did Ravana say? Okay, I will listen to you, but what is dearest to a monkey? Its tail. So I am going to set the tail on fire. Remember, I told this in the last class. So he set the tail on fire. He was just a normal monkey whose tail got set on fire. But after his tail was set on fire, he started becoming bigger and bigger and bigger, stood on the roof of a building, and then started burning all the buildings. That is the progression of the events. Okay. In the 𝗟𝗃𝗺, on the other hand, he assumed this form. I'm sure it's familiar to all of you. What is this form? Panchamukha Anjaneya. Actually, the story of Panchamukha Anjaneya comes in one more story also. I'll tell you that story at a later context where he fought with Ahiravana. This story is a different one. In the Sundarakanda, at the time of, for the online audience, what I'll do is I'll share this photo in our WhatsApp group. So, this Panchamukha Anjaneya form was taken by Hanuman in order to burn Lanka. What is the significance of Panchamukha Anjaneya form? That's what we'll be seeing now in the remainder of the class. What is the significance of Panchamukha Anjaneya? Why does he have 5 faces? Who can tell me? Okay, tell me. What are all the faces?
One is Varaha, this one.
Which one?
The first one.
Varaha is face.
Varaha.
Okay, this is supposed to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, but because we cannot show a 3D image or a 2D thing, it comes like this. Varaha faces north. So those who are writing, especially children, write Panchamukha Anjaneya. Varaha facing, so 5 faces. North, Varaha. Panchamukha Anjaneya. Panchamukha Anjaneya form. Varaha facing north. Facing north. Whom else are you able to identify from this picture? हॉर्स का नाम क्या है? अश्व नहीं, हमको जाने वाले एक गॉड है.
Hayagriva.
करेक्ट. Hayagriva facing up. Hayagriva facing up. Hayagriva facing up. Up as in top direction, above. And then whom can you see? Narasimha. Narasimha is supposed to face south. Narasimha is facing, yes, this one, the second one. I'll pass the picture along. Second one here. Second one here, Narasimha is facing south direction. And then who's the fourth? I hope the online audience is able to hear me because my this one is on. Now it's moving. Okay. So what's the fourth face that you can see? The greenish face. I'll give you a clue. Look at the nose.
Garuda.
Correct. Garuda. Garuda is facing the western direction. And the Vanara faces in the east. Vanara faces in the east. Now this, but Vanara faces in the Hanuman faces in the east.
Garuda facing?
Garuda facing west. And Vanara faces in the east. Okay. Now because we can't show all the 5 directions. Now Vanara east is here. And the others have been adjusted around it. Okay. But if you really see Vanara east. Okay. East is where? This is east. East. West is this one. Garuda. Then north is Varaha, east means north, Varaha, south is Narasimha, top is Hayagriva. So now going by the directions, have you guessed what it signifies? 5 directions, right? So each face protects us from each direction. Each face protects us in each direction, and therefore that is why we worship Panchamukha Hanuman. And then can anybody guess how many hands he must be having if he has 5 faces? 10. 10 hands holding 10 weapons. What are the weapons? I'll tell you. Actually, I'll give you the weapons as homework. All of you look for the weapons in the hands of the picture. Guess what it is and send me. Like you see a kamandalu there, you see things there, okay? You have to make a list and show me in the next class what all you found on the picture. Same for the online class participants also. Look at the hands, find out what are the weapons, and if you want my help in the next class, please ask me. Okay, so these are the very nice Rekha ji. 𝗖𝗵𝗹𝗀𝗺, Garuda. I have shared the picture in the group also. 𝗖𝗵𝗹𝗺, Garuda. Then there is Varaha. Then there is Hanuman Mukha only. And then there is Narasimha Mukha. Now, 10 arms holding 10 weapons. Why are they holding so many weapons? Protection. Simple. Okay. Why do gods hold so many weapons? Do they need to show their power by holding weapons? No. And are they like these warriors who say, I have so many weapons, so I am so strong? No, they are holding these weapons in order to protect us only. There's one significant, interesting fact which many of you may not know. 5 faces are there. So how many eyes are there?
10.
That is a logical answer. I want a creative answer. How many do you think they are there? 15. They share along with the eyes are like Shiva and Parvati's. 3 eyes in a face. He is Shiva Amsa, no? So he has 3. In his Panchamukha form, he becomes all the more powerful. So he has 15 eyes. So Panchamukha, please write in your notes. 10 arms, 15 eyes. Okay. Always remember when we talk of third eye, what are we talking about? The 3 eyes represent
Jnana.
Very good. The 3 eyes represent the sun, moon and fire. Okay. Sun and moon are in the world around us. We see the sun and the moon. We see fire also. But this fire is not normal fire. This fire is the light of knowledge. So when we start seeing with the third eye, we no longer see the sun and the moon and the world around us. What do we see? We see only God everywhere. That is why this is the eye of knowledge. Okay. Third eye is the eye of jnana. Okay. So 15 eyes he has. And then 3 eyes in every face. So this is the form of Panchamukha Hanuman. So when he took this form and he started burning Lanka, he terrified many people. In fact, I think we discussed that in the last class. No, burning of Lanka, we kind of I told the story, right? Okay, so that is done. Then 𝗟𝗘𝗔𝗥𝗡 𝗟𝗔𝗥𝗡. Okay, see, each one of them, if you notice, there is a significance. Very good question. Thank you. I wanted to actually discuss this also. Very nice that you asked me. Let's all think through this together. Let me get the answers from you. You know why Hanuman has Hanuman face. He's been born with that face. So Hanuman face, okay. Why do you think he took the face of Garuda? What is Garuda's role?
Vahana.
Vahana of
Rama.
Rama. And what is his power?
Flying fast.
One more. In Saundarya Lahari we've seen. 𝗟𝗘𝗔𝗥𝗡 𝗟𝗵𝗹𝗀𝗀 𝗟𝗔𝗥𝗡 kills snakes, and he is very effective against poison. So any kind of biological warfare, if somebody unleashes on you like COVID, you should pray to Garuda. Why? Because Garuda is very effective against poisons. Okay, so for protection from poisons, Garuda face. Okay, why does he have the face of Narasimha? Everything is associated with Lord Vishnu, by the way. He is after all Vishnu Bhakta. For him, everything will be Vishnu only. That is common trait. I am sure you all realize that. So what is the significance of Narasimha?
Protection.
From?
Protection. Fast protection.
Jnana Netra. Very nice, Rekha ji.
Fast protection.
Fast protection. Very good. Fast protection, yes. But what kind of enemies does Narasimha protect his Bhakta from? Fear urudha, but see, from larger than life enemies, from people who can throw you from a mountain, burn you at the fire, do all kinds of things to their own children. That kind of really cruel enemies. So he protects you from cruelty. Okay, so that kind of terrible enemies also he protects you. Then Varaha, what is his role? क्या? नरसिम्हा रूप का नहीं है. हाँ, एक स्टोरी आएगा आपको. वो 5 faces से क्या करते बोल के कहा था, मगर ये 5 faces he takes to burn Lanka itself in Sundarakanda. Since we spoke of Sundarakanda and burning of Lanka in the previous class, and here in this particular shloka we have 𝗟𝗘𝗔𝗥𝗡 𝗟𝗔𝗥𝗡, I am tying it up to the 5 faces with that story. There is one more story when he took the 5 faces, he did something. So that is also there. But this signifies, see, for all of Hanuman Bhakts like us, when we visualize and pray to him as Panchamukha Hanuman, it is like total complete protection. All directions from all enemies. Okay, so there is nothing left untouched. Varaha, what does he protect from?
He protects us from Samsara Sagara.
Super. Let's clap for Shri. Amazing answer. Super. He protects us from all of us who are immersed in Samsara Sagara. He lifts us up. So like internal enemies, like Varaha himself. Very good. Super. Saundarya Lahari, give me the quote. अविद्यानां
Tell Sudhir. जडानां चैतन्यस्तबकमकरन्दश्रुतिझरी दरिद्राणां चिन्तामणि गुणनिका
जन्म जलधौ निमग्नानां दंष्ट्रा मुररिपुवराहस्य भवति. Super. So just like how Muras Asura Varaha, what did he do? He immersed himself into the cosmic ocean and brought earth out. In the same way, if we pray to Ambal, she will save us from the samsara sagara. Tatparya there. Here the purpose of Hanuman taking the Varaha face is to save us from samsara sagara. Okay, very good. Then the last phase, 𝗖𝗵𝗹𝗶𝗀. What did 𝗖𝗵𝗹𝗶 do? He saved the Vedas. So Vedas, the protection of the way of life. Vedas signify not only the supreme wisdom contained in the Vedas, but a way of life. For Hindus, Vedas is a substratum of our existence. We exist because of the Vedas. That is why Sanatana Dharma is ever dependent on the Vedas. So he keeps the Dharma alive. So he protects Dharma. So he protects you from poison. He protects you from larger than life external enemies. He protects you from internal enemies who prevent you from getting out of the samsara sagara. And then he protects your way of life. And then the normal Hanuman form, you know, the protective form which always saves us. Okay, so that is the significance of the Panchamukha Hanuman form. So we'll close the session now with this particular shloka. Next shloka we'll tell in the next class. We'll just chant 8 and 9 together once. Prabhu charitra sunive ko rasiya, Ram lakhan sita man basiya, सूक्ष्म रूप धरि सियहि दिखावा, विकट रूप धरि लंक जरावा. You are ready with Bhima Rupa, I go. Good. So we'll close the session with Om 3 times. श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः. हरिः ओम. सर्वं कृष्णार्पणमस्तु. धन्यवादः. धन्यवादः. I am closing the session. If there are any further questions, you can ask me on the WhatsApp group also. Thank you. It's nice to see everyone's participation in today's session. मैं